Hey guys, Andrew here, and I'm standing up in Myra Canyon, and you can hear all the birds, lots of songbirds. And spring is sprung. Just happened about 2 weeks ago, and everything is becoming green. Beautiful time of life. We're overlooking the Okanagan, and there's all sorts of activities up here. There's parks. There's a camp down there where there's trails and all sorts of climbing that happens down in Myra Camp, and it's good. It's beautiful up here, so you should check it out. So what I'm talking about today is states of perpetual crisis, and they're using states of perpetual crisis to push people into their narratives and into their system of control. And we've seen it with the military complex where they go into a war, they start a war, and that's an unending war. It's war after war after war. Or the pharmaceuticals where, you get sick, they give you a vaccine, and then you need to have vaccine 2, vaccine 3, vaccine 4 until you become a user of their system. And it becomes usury, a system of usury where you're constantly needing their system to be able to, allow you access to what you need. Same thing with the government. There's a perpetual crisis within the government of inefficiency and ineffectiveness, and you can't get anything unless you buy into that system. So, passports, airplane or the airports, hunter license, PALs, everything is bogged down. And so they're going to start lifting those restrictions for people that start to buy into the CBDCs. So the CBDCs have been rolling out and now are officially rolling out last 2 days ago. And they're going to start using that as a way of getting people and businesses to buy into their system and become a part of this one world system. And so with that, they're also going to be able to have the ability to monitor and track what you're doing, where you're going, and eventually, what you're worshiping. It's going to come down to your worship. Who are you worshiping? See, God created us in the image of Him to come and worship Him through our hands, through our work. And our work is an expression of our love and devotion to Him. But what they want to do is create a slave state so that you no longer have the ability to go and create and build with God, but that you have to come under the system and do as you're told to do. And this is the ultimate end state. This is the end game. Are you going to worship the true King of Kings, or are you going to come under their system and worship the false King of Kings? And that's why King Charles was anointed and coronated this Saturday. And it's the beginning of the beast system. Fortunately, there's a kingdom system with a kingdom government. And that's going to rise up in places. And we're starting to see that in Florida. We're seeing that in Texas. Even though they're combating it and fighting back against it, there will be kingdom systems. There are going to be kingdom governments. And those will rise on the earth. And it's going to be the protection of God. It's going to be kingdom armies. And it's going to be against the demonic and the devil armies. And it's going to be Joel's army. We're going to start seeing Joel's army rise up on the earth and start to break against these systems of chaos, this perpetual state of crisis. And that order, that kingdom order, is going to come in and bring forth God's order, right? So it's interesting that the Canada state of order has been changed now from a snowflake into the crown with the snowflake on top. So it'll be interesting to find out what that symbolism really means and what the purpose of it is. But let's stay encouraged. Let's keep fighting the good fight. And even though they will do anything at their means, such as burn down a province like they're doing in Alberta, to create that chaos so that, they can take control of the system, that wokeness in that hierarchical structure will ultimately fail, will ultimately break down. if you study and go research holochain, the system is built upon efficiency. It's built upon living systems. And it's an ecosystem that builds upon each other and feeds each other and nourishes each other. That's the power of nature. That's the power of creation. And that's why God is a creative God. He's a creator God. And he's given that. He's imparted that into us so that our minds can innovate and create and come together. And that's a collaboration that will start to take place where people will come together and bring ownership into this earth through God. And that will become stewards of this earth, of this land. So hang on to your hats. Hang on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride for the next season. You know, with war starting up in Taiwan and them going after the semiconductor business where they have 90% of the business. It's going to be interesting to see how the supply chain's affected and how we evolve to adapt to it. So have yourselves a great day. Hit me up. Go check out my website. Learn about systems are the assets that create wealth. So building these systems are what are going to create wealth for now and the long term. So I look forward to connecting soon.